It's the newly kind of development, right? That I wouldn't call myself very traditional also, because I learned traditional from my father, right? But it got evolved through, because of this modern life now, right? Adapting different kind of philosophy inside. So I used to work in the monastery for 10 years.
Oh.
So in the Can, it's a Chongyan Monastery here.
In New York.
In New York. They used to have the biggest Buddha in-house in Eastern Europe. It's a big monastery.
Okay.
So I could say that I worked there for 10 years as just kind of handyman. Right? You know, when we are in temple, we do whatever we need to do.
Right.
Right. We do half volunteer, half working in that case, you see.
Right.
So so we had the kind of contact with all these monk, right? Different kind of monk, Tibetan monks, Thai monk, Japanese, Korean, and Chinese monk, you see, because then we get to know a little bit more.
Yeah, all the different styles.
All different styles, and looking back at my younger training of martial arts, right, and now looking at the Buddhisms, so we see that a lot of missing things that is not being emphasized in martial arts. So start to slowly kind of applying philosophy and those concepts right into the martial arts. So it just evolved in that way, is it?
So it was lost for a couple hundred years, maybe.
I don't say it's lost, you see, but there's something that maybe people is not openly enough to review, or what is it? Or there are in olden days there are specific purpose for something, right? Yeah. Only for fighting,
right?
All right, but mostly in Chinese martial art, they do at the end come down to cultivations,
right?
Right, because of because of modern days. So what can you do with the fighting?
Right.
Right. So but we do use the martial arts as a tools to keep on what I call learning, right? As a tools to using martial as a tools, you see, for cultivations, as in like in Shaolin Temple, right? Shaolin, they use martial arts to cultivate, right? So Chinese traditional, they always had that kind of concepts. At the end, you will down on the road of cultivations, right? Because that I like martial arts to do the cultivation is because that martial art itself, it needs a kind of readiness, alertness to begin with, you see. Right. So as you do cultivations that we need alertness, readiness, right? About awareness about all these things, you see. That's why I continue to develop on this area, because that before I went in the temple, I already practically quite give up on my martial arts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You stopped practicing in the temple, and then you were just focusing on meditation.
Focus on meditation, you see.
Yeah.
And then because of my colleague, right, we discuss, right, one of my friends, you see, they call Ray, you see. He's very good on sutra and Buddhism, everything, you see. So, but under the martial arts, I'm not good at understanding all those sutra, you see.
Yeah.
But we are trained with feeling.
Yes.
Sensitivities, you see.
Yes.
So through my own experience, we can talk about the feeling, the sensitivities and everything. So he was helping me to to match up some of the sutra, what they said, so to get me interest back again, right? To use the martial arts way to cultivate, you see. Right, of course, that when you meet some of the monk, especially when once I meet one of the it's the monk that we get from the Thailand. They come to do workshops in the temple. You see,
right?
Is Vipassana is the dynamic meditation.
The Vipassana.
It's Vipassana, but he don't call it Vipassana. It's a dynamic meditation from Thailand. Right. He always talk about awareness. Just plain awareness, is it about movement, this sitting down, only do movement, that kind of dynamic meditation, is it? So then you come to understand that, isn't it? It's quite the same of martial arts, what we talk about. Our martial arts, we only talk about this small area.
Yeah.
About what? Listening power, about sensitivities, right?
Right.
But Buddhism talk about awareness.
Right.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge thing, is it?
The whole thing, yeah.
Right. About what awareness is it? Right. So because from that point, I got to understand that when we was training martial art about listening power, sensitivities, was listening this and listening that, right? To gain a sensitivities, you see. But in Buddhism, then I start to understand that it's the awareness itself. Awareness itself is the tools, right? If you don't have that tools, you cannot. Only with that tools, what is awareness is, then you start to look at what you look at, you see. All right? And from here, tend to understand the reference, right? About the reference, about the viewpoint, that kind of thing, is it?
Right.
Yes.
That's wonderful you say that, because I feel like a lot of the Western practitioners who study Buddhism, when they think Buddhism and meditation, they think thinking, like the mind, like just thoughts. They don't mean listening with the body somatically, like what you're talking about.
Yes. So what I really kind of understand that when I was in temple, I used a couple of years just to investigate on the awareness itself. To point back what awareness is, you see. Because before that, we were thinking the awareness on this, awareness on that. Yes. You must aware of this, aware of that.
Yes.
Practically, when we training, when we are aware of this, actually is to reflect back at the same time what awareness is. See?
Yes.
Right? It's the core, it's a tool itself. Right? With the tool itself, then you only can say you must like I have a book that I talk about the when you have a tools, you must know where to fight. You must fight in the right battlefield, or else you can't win the war. You see? All right. So with the tools, you must know what to study.
Right. Because
there are so many things to learn.
So many
things to learn. Right. But as the Buddhists talk about, like when Buddha was said, reach out his hand to grab a leaf, right? So I'm not going to study the whole forest. I'm not going to study this couple of leaves.
Yeah.
Right? When you study this, you understand everything, you see?
Yeah.
That kind of thing, you see? Right? Practically, it still come back to as what human being is, about mental and physical, all right? So, and about this world, what we live in, you see? You know? All right. So it just narrowed down to here, you see.
So you spent this time studying awareness of awareness, like you took the awareness and reflected it back on itself in meditation at the temple. So from there, how did you figure out how to use that in movement? How to develop that same skill somatically?
Yeah, it's because the movement itself, because the movement is another one thing, because the awareness is what attention is, right?
Yes.
Right. How to hold attention is the what, how to maintain that awareness, how to maintain that attention is the first thing. All right. If you cannot maintain that, so that means you go for back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So from here, for me, before I say anything right here, right, I only can say from my experience, from my viewpoint.
Sure.
All right. So I'm only can say that what I teach is from my experience, from what I been learning and try to share. All right. So I can't speak for other people. Right. All right. So just for that first, you see. All right. It's from my experience from that, you see. Because that when we talk about awareness, first for instance, like we say that it's about attention. You must be able to maintain that first. Then for maintaining that awareness itself, you could say that is what? It's being in the moment. All right? To be in the moment, to maintain the moment.
Maintain it, yes.
To maintain a moment is where the awareness that you could manifest the awareness there, you see? But what to look at is another one thing.
Right.
All right. What to look at is another one thing is that, like I said, that is look at our body, is our physical, right? Our mental. These two things, you see.
Right.
But under the physical, what you look at? Because under the physical, we talk about we are four element.
Yeah.
Right. It's four element. It's earth, water, air, and fire. Right, and heat. It's only these four elements.
Right.
So under the earth, we talk about the what? Under martial, we talk about the bone, ligament, tendons, muscles.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Tissue and out to the skin. All right, and air, we talk about movement, talk about the breathing. Right. Of course, the water is between the blood, the pressure, how you create the pressure, and all these things. You see. So overall, you could say that there must be a reference to start with.
Right.
Because I incorporate like Buddhism, what I call and
Taoism.
Taoism, Tao and the Chinese kind of medicines.
Yes.
Right. And Confucius, practically. Actually, it's under these four things, you see. Right. So when we say we need a reference in order to get what kind of viewpoint, the right view. Right. So everyone has his own right view. The problem is it?
Yeah, yeah.
What you consider right, is it?
Right.
Right? What you consider right, is it? So I only can say that when we used this Buddhism, Tao philosophy, what is considered right view is because it's based on what nature is.
Yes.
All right? So under their teaching, the nature is what? The characteristics of nature is about change. And it don't have one solid entity. So it's based on change and based on the component are coming together. It come and go, you see? Right? Unification, separation, raise and fall, all these things, you see? That means it's change is a process.
Yes.
The hardest part so far for me to find the training, when you come back to concrete, observable, and training, right? When you talk about change, how can you change? How can you train change? Right. How can you be with the change?
Yes.
All right, because that it's a process. You can't stop and say, I think first. you can't stop and think.
You missed it.
You missed it.
Mm-hmm.
So then what is the process that I can be with the process? Now, if you say change with the change, I know what is change with change. How could I change with the change? The toughest part is here, you see?
Yeah.
Then under the Tao, there's a reference to call balance point.
Mm-hmm.
To maintain a balance point on the change. So maintain a balance point on the change, that's where the process is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also where the moment is. To maintain the moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. If you can't flow with the balancing on balance point, you can say balancing on the balance point. You see?
Yes.
It's my core training. It's my core teaching actually.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because that this balancing on the balance point is about what? It's about, we talk about one. Tao they talk about Tao they bond one. One they bond two. Two they bond three. Then everything is gone. That means it's one they bond yin and yang, you see?
Right.
Yin and yang, but in order to complement of this yin yang, there must have three. There's the third part. The part is where the separation and unification.
Yes, the balance point.
That's where the balance point.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If that balance point is not strong, we cannot know from there.
We get caught this way, we come and go then.
Yeah, but you still can know from here, but know from here. But it's not know from the neutral point.
Yes.
As in Buddhism and Chinese philosophy, we talk about balance and neutral.
Yes. Middle way.
A middle way.
Yes.
So the middle way keep on changing.
Yes.
Even you must be able to maintain with the middle way, that means you must be able to flow within.
Yeah.
But how can you flow within? Is it? It's only through balancing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yes.
That means it's always constant balancing. Constant balancing is the process, is the moment, is the present moment that you know, you see. Right? But that need a lot of skill of attention.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't have that attentions, you cannot. You will fall back to the past experience. So when we training, we always talk about present and past. You see, these two, right? You know from the present or you know from the past. Mm-hmm. Right? When we say you know from the past is what? Knowing from the present is what? Mm-hmm. Right? When we say know from the past, memory. It's all about the experience through what you like, what you don't like, or what you don't know.
Yeah.
We talk about these three kind of feelings that you like, you don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's from the past experience.
Right.
So in the process of balancing of the moment, they don't have this feeling. Right? You cannot have this, you like, you don't like. Mm-mm. You like, you don't like, that means you already engaged the past experience. So in the present moment, you only has that kind of calmness, stillness and clarity. But clarity come from where? Is it? Clarity still come from the separation of the difference, you see? Right? The difference of is come from all this 1, 2, 3 separation, you see? Like we talk about television now, high definition. All right? When high definition is what? That means it's more pixel. Yes. Higher pixel, that means more separation. Yeah. Right?
Right.
There are more separation, but there are separation, unification as one. That means it's more clearer.
Clearer picture, yes.
Clearer pictures. All right. But from here, can we understand the condition or not? So from here, we need to understand all this relationship. All right. So, so through my training, it's more about connections, linking. Mm-hmm. How many centers can you connect? How far can you link? It's just like a Wi-Fi or like a radar, right? Like a radar. Your radar is, for instance, like your Wi-Fi only can what? Within this house.
Yeah, very weak or more powerful can reach
More
out
powerful.
further.
More powerful, that means have more centers, right?
Yeah.
The connections is bigger. So to my training is about here. See, if my area of connection, I can get into 10 square feet. If your connection only can go to 5 square feet. Within your 5, you know. Outside your 5, you don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
that means outside your 5 is under my Wi-Fi.
Right.
I know you don't know.
Yeah.
Right? That means outside your Wi-Fi is your future. But your future is under my present.
Yeah.
So this is about expanding this training of these connections, you see.
Right.
Right. But like I said that everything must have a reference. A reference under the Tao, they talk about reference of the center.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A center. A center is also a line, is also a separation. A center is what consider a center? A center is what? Is the reference of that means has a conditions of up, down, left, right, forward, and backward.
All's encompassed.
Yes. Or else you wouldn't call a center.
No. It'd be the beginning or the end.
Yeah. The center must have up, down, left, right, forward, and backward.
Yeah.
Or a center with circumference.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I consider as a Neigong, I will talk about they have a center. A center that go out to the circumference.
Mm-hmm.
And circumference go back to the center. Right?
Yes.
So under Neigong in Chinese word, well, Ne is inside. Gong is work.
Yes. Inside.
Right? Right. Qigong they say is what? Qi is a breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Breathing work. So the important thing is that where do you think is your main reference that you hold?
Yes.
That
So
you can hold to maintain to see.
mm-hmm.
Right? When we talk about in actions, we always talk about neutral yin, neutral yang. Yes, we never leave the center. We never leave the neutral. We always from neutral extend to yang or neutral to extend to yin. So you can return back to the neutral. Because that in my teaching, we talk about, from the neutral. Right? And you can, because from neutral, then you also can change. So overall of the training, I emphasize first is about change. Then only talk about power. Right? Power, I mean sometimes it's if they go for power, they very easily mistaken. They will go both sides. Because they will mostly go for extreme. You see? So change is my first thing that I normally talk about. So so within the body, we talk about, of course, you said that Neigong, like we talk about the center of the bone.
The center of the bone. Okay. The center of the inside of the bone or between bones, the joint?
They're all centers. Joint have centers. All right?
Okay. Yes.
Joint has centers, bone has centers, you see, structure.
Mm-hmm.
Because that we talk about skeleton first, talk about center first.
So we start with the structure in the center.
Start with the structure. We start with the skeleton, you see.
Mm-hmm.
The skeleton, then we talk about the bone, talk about then the ligament tendons is where the joint is.
Mm-hmm.
Ligament tendons is where the joint is, right? The joint is where they attach all the muscles, the yin muscle, yang muscles, the contracting muscle and expanding muscles, because they're two group of muscles. That means the bone is the centers, then have two group of muscles.
Mm-hmm.
So I emphasize on bone ligament tendons, yin yang muscles, because there are the whole body structures. There are two lines, one yin line, one yang line.
Okay.
Because that we have yin line, yang line.
Yes.
So the dantian, Chinese talk about dantian, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what dantian is, right?
Yes, yes.
The dantian is where the reference that all the yin line they come, they condense to.
Mm-hmm.
Mingmen.
Mm-hmm.
Mingmen is our kidney point.
Mm-hmm.
The kidney point is where the yang line they all expand out.
Okay.
One condensing, one expanding. These two lines that make they control all the movement.
Mm-hmm.
From the yin line and yang line attaching the ligament tendons, attached to the joint where the muscle is, that create movement.
Yes.
So these two
Respectively,
lines.
yin movement, the bringing in, and the yang movement projecting out.
Yes, I won't say projecting out. You see, I was talking about it will be condensing and expanding.
Okay. Yes.
It just condense and expand. Everything is about condensing and expanding, right? Condensing and expanding, right? So, so because that this is the energy flow within the body. In action, is on pull and push.
Yeah.
All right. In action is pull or push or project or expand.
Yeah.
You either project or absorb.
Yeah. Yeah. And are these connected to specific to the Mingmen and to the Dantian? Like, does one do just one? So one just expands and one just absorbs.
Condense.
Yin's absorbing, Yang's expanding.
Yes. Because that when we based on nature about the nature itself, like we talk about the back to its origin, that means back to its most normal relaxed position. In relaxed position, in other sense, it's more about the balanced position. Right? We balance the two group. Right? When you relax, you will feel that the yin muscle will draw. When you relax, the yang muscle will expand. That is the natural state of what the muscle is.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why our body, you see, the front here, up to the hip here is the yin muscles. And down on the thigh here, on front is the yang muscles. All right? At the back is yin. Like, and when you move up to the paddock, it go up here, at the back here is yang. Because this yin yang, then our hand only function, you see. That we only can bend, that only can do. Right? Or else it won't work, you see.
Yeah.
All right? Or else it won't work. But because that I emphasize neutral, of course, people will say that, oh, your movement must use the muscle. Yes, but to get the right positions, to get the right angle, to get the aligning, the pointer is on the bone. Then you need to see, even I want to reach out to grab this, right? It's the bone that support to go here, is it? But then we what they call tell how the muscles should work, is it? All right. So in a way that from balancing, we balance from the center to get two, not the two to balance the center.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That means it's the center point reference,
which is the bones.
Which is the bone, you see. We don't balance, you see, this. We don't catch these two to balance this. We hold the center to balance these two.
Yes.
You see? So you balance, you're able to hold the center, you have the reference of the other too. So as we overall, for my teaching, it's more about the come down to knowing, like awareness, like knowing. You see, like how can you know? First of all, what is knowing? Yeah, you see, you know what is knowing.
Yeah.
Knowing what? is it? Knowing what, is it? And then how can you know? Then knowing from what reference? These three kind of knowing is my basic kind of having my student to understand, you see, because knowing, you could know from the past, you can know from the present. Knowing from the past is what? Knowing from the present is what? How do you know from the present?
Right.
The moment, you see? And knowing, right, because that knowing could be from experience. Like I said, knowing from the moment is all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is not about, they don't judge. It's just difference, you see? Yeah, the contrast. It's the contrast, you see? It's the contrast, like even like the pressure difference.
So
right?
The past knowing is information bringing forward, like I know about my bones because I've studied anatomy and skeletons.
Yes.
But then the knowing in the present is putting your mind in the bone and
Yes.
being focused from the center point during the movement and maintaining that awareness of the bone in movement.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So that means you must able to maintain the balancing point first. You must able to have attention to hold there at the moment to see the difference of there from there. You see? So you hold there to see. It's not, it's different from, if you can't hold there, you will fall back to your past experience.
Yes.
Then when you fall back to past experience, then you will be judging the moment.
And
right?
The connection gets smaller.
Yeah, the connection, then your connection is not stretching out to
Right.
connect to what you call to embrace or what, or merging. You see, it's not kind of merging kind of thing that you are falling back. You see? Yeah.
So when you start, okay, I've understood let's say I've understood the awareness and the focus point. So I want to focus on the center point, which is the bones. Do I focus on one bone in particular? Do I start somewhere and then begin to link them all and grow the awareness? Or what's the process there for a new student?
Yeah, for me, because there's two elements first. You see, first of all, we talk about, first one is the there's two elements. There is one, we talk about structure, is about absorb and project first. Absorb and project, contain and expand. Project and expand. No. Absorb and project is about aligning to the gravity, about the gravity first.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
When we live in this world, we need to talk about this gravity first. Yeah. We are supported by the earth, right? So we need to be with the earth first, just by supported that, right? That means it's from the feet up to our highest point, our crown, right? That is down and up first, because that in order to get the movement, to get the efficiency or the power, first of all, you must able to work with the gravity first, right? That means the feet on the gravity first. That means how to like normally Kung Fu we talk about how you sing and how you float, you see, how you do this and you do that, you see. But first of all, you must understand the gravity first. The feet on the floor. Are you balancing? Are you balancing with the ground or not?
Right.
So are we balancing with the ground or not? You see, but then on my system, I do talk about 3 dimensions, right? 6 direction, 3 dimension. So with the ground, everything is vertical first. It's vertical energy, you see, before you come into horizontal. It's vertical, horizontal, then sagittal, right? So it's a vertical and horizontal. Right? So you must able to make that this is unification with the ground first. This is one. And then second one is within yourself, unify yourself. We unify yourself, that means it's unifying your Dantian and Mingmen. Unify yourself, that means you might unify all your structure, your muscles, your joints, that that you are drawing to your dantian and the movement releasing. This is unifying all the joints within the body. There is another one unification of yourself. These two group of things, you see. So of course, from unifying, holding, we must able to hold on the ground. That means by holding one point
with the feet.
With the feet, from one point is the vertical energy. Vertical energy, that means holding a point. That means we talk about pivoting, pivot roll, pivot and roll, right?
Yes.
That means talk about pivot and roll. Talk about, that means holding one point. That means you're not going to leave the point. That means it's only to rotation.
Right.
But only through rotation, then you create open and close. Right? When you create open and close, then you create curve and straight. You were creating concave and convex movement, like a fish. Right? That curve with straight line, all these things, you see, that come down to from opening and close, from absorbing and projecting, from condensing and expanding. With open, close, you are creating concave, convex.
Yeah.
All these concave, convex. Right, all these concave, convex, are they aligning down from the highest point down to the floor or not?
Yes.
And the floor coming back up or not? You see? Then are they condensing down to the bone and the bone expanding out or not? So we do teach, like has said, like Neigong with bone marrow washing. Right? That means you need to draw to the bone as a center. And the center, the bone, the release, the stretch out to the yang muscles through the rotation of movement. Through the rotation of movement, that means you are stretching from joint to joint. So you are not cutting corners.
Yes. Starting in the feet.
Yeah, starting from the feet. Yeah, from the ankle, knee, hip to the spine.
You open and close the joints of the foot like this, like grab the floor, release, grab the floor, release, arch the spine.
Yeah, it's more than that. It's not only grab and release, but there's a rotation to grab, rotation.
Yeah.
There's a rotation, you see? From rotation from yang and yin, the draw.
Okay. Up through the whole body. This is our
up to the whole body, because especially all our cavities of this, there's a suction. Right? You see now, as you raise, you see that's where the things. Now, normally we don't raise in that way.
The shoulders.
Right? Then we say when you raise, that means we leave the center.
Yeah, no good.
Yeah. That means we talk about when we raise, we rotate to raise. That means when you rotate, when you can feel the rotation that to raise, it's only that means you don't raise the shoulders. That means when you hold the joint of rotation, the shoulder will keep down. All the centers that make the rotations, that you will maintain that rotation, because the joint, when you stretch the joint, right? When the power come in action, that you need to impact the joint too, you see? To get the joint in, you see? Rotation. So you could say that is because that from the hip to our neck is one point, the C7 is a point, the hang, the hole to keep out the crown, then to the shoulders, the elbow, wrist, you see? You could say this, the training, at first the training, it doesn't look martial. It's more about understand your body.
Yeah.
Is it?
The bone, so the bone washing is like the same as opening and closing the joints.
Yes, but you need to, of course, you need to open and close the joint to do the suction there. So is it?
Suction.
And also the muscle here, as you draw, you squeeze in, you see?
Yeah.
Because there is always two energy. All movement are fog. All movement are balanced energy with a fog energy minimum.
Yes.
Excuse me.
The fork energy, there's 2 forks.
Yeah, 2, yeah, it's a minimum. If you can get 6, the best.
Yeah.
Right, that means 3 fork, not only 1 fork, 3 fork, that means it's 6 direction.
Oh, yes, okay.
A minimum is 1 fork, that means 2. That means all movement, all energy must have minimum 2. So for instance, like condensing will be condensing to the bone and drawing to the dantian. One is suction to the bone, right? One is absorbing. There's 2 lines. One is 90 degree. One is 90 degree the bone. One is along the bone. There's 2.
Yeah.
The yang the same. One is 90 degree out. One is expanding, stretching.
Okay.
Right. There's 2 direction energy. You see. They always have 2 direction energy.
Yeah. And when you're doing the pulsing, the suction, is this a hold or is it like pulsing?
It doesn't matter. It depends how. That means the pulsing. That means you need the pulsing need to be transferred. The thing is that now, for instance, you look at yin and yang, right? Like yin and yang. From one side to go to another side. From one side to go another side. I cannot draw my yin into yang. You see, I cannot. That means you violate the principle of yin yang. You violate the principle of balance. I can draw up to the bone and stretch out the bone. That means you go through. That means the yin yang here, right? There's a line, there's a neutral line to separate these 2 things.
Center point.
A center point. From here, from yin to yang, to go through, you need to, from yin to draw to the center line. The center line need to make a loop. Look, a spin, make a loop to transfer to the yang. Right? For instance, like we said that almost of the time we will be doing like, okay, a hand go out. I cannot just draw back. I go up. I need to expand to draw. When I condense, I cannot just, when I condense, it's on the front. I cannot push it out. That means you are violating the 6 direction energy. You see, when I draw to the front, I need to condense to go to the back. Then from the back, stretch out. Now you are stretching out from the front. You see? You see this? I'm drawing here. Now I'm stretching from the front. You must draw here. You must make a loop you do Chan, like a Chan style, like you do a spiral. I go here, I make a loop. Then you go out. Yeah, that is from the back.
Very nice.
Is it?
Yes.
You cannot. Yin is drawing down to dantian. You cannot reverse the energy. The reverse energy must stretch out from the back. Out. Yeah. So when you stretch to the back here, I cannot draw to the back. From here, I need to draw to the front. All right. Then from here, you make a loop, make a cycle, then you go out from the back. But the direction energy here, you see, I cannot say from here, I cannot say I push back here. When I push back here, the directional energy is right. We talk about now 3 unification. Self-unifications is about hardware. It's about the bone, ligament, tendons, muscles, about yin muscle to dantian, yang muscle to the yang muscle from the mingmen out. Then we talk about movement. Movement must have hardware. Movement is about directional energy. My hand go forward, I go back. My hand, I draw my hand, my body go forward. My hand go up, I go down. My hand go down, I go up. All right? This is the movement. This is directional movement energy about what you call a Newton law. See the law, all right?
Yeah.
All these physical laws, see? Yes?
Yes.
But the problem is, when I go back, I cannot go back this. I go back, I'm raising my back. Back go out, not the front. You see, so when we talk about movement, right? Talk about yin-yang movement. Yin move first or yang move first? What move first? There's no such thing, yin move first or yang move first. It's all about the cycle, what lead what, yes?
Yeah.
Now, if I go front, it's my yin to lead the back. If I go back, it's not the yin that lead the back, it's the yang that lead the back. That means I come back, it's the yin muscle. They lead the yang muscles. Yes?
The yin.
When I go out, it's the yang muscle, they lead the yin muscles.
Mm-hmm.
You see now, the movement is one is ahead of this or one is ahead of that. You see, this is drawing, this is raising, or this raising, this is drawing. You don't, the front don't raise up. But of course, when the yang raise, the energy is still drawing, but the yang movement is moving also along with the yang, like a stretching fingers, right? Mm-hmm. If I stretch my yang muscles, the yin got to follow.
Yes.
Now let's see this. Now, I can have two kind of grab. This is yin grab. This is yang grab. Yes, see the difference? Mm-hmm. Now I'm grabbing the yin, it's grease. I'm using the yin muscle first to do the grab, to do the pull. Mm-hmm. Now I'm punching. I'm using the yang grab to punch. Ah. Right? Yin grab, yang grab.
Yeah.
You see, this is yang grab, right? This is yang muscle extend first. Mm-hmm. Right? And this is yin muscle come first. Mm-hmm. So this is yang that lead the yin and yin that lead the yang.
Yeah. So is the yin on the yin grab, this all contracts.
You draw the yin first. You throw the yin to the bone first.
Yeah.
Now yang grab, you stretch the bone and you expand the bone and stretch to the yang muscle first. Mm.
So on the yin grab, the yang releases, relax, should be relaxed.
Yeah, you relax, you follow the yin.
So all of this is contracting.
Yes.
The
yang muscle were expanding.
They're expanding.
Mm. So my teaching, I'm very particular of this mechanism because it got to go along with the energy flow. All right, the energy flow drawing to the dantian, right, and drawing up from the back. You draw from behind leg first. You draw up to the dantian. You see, because that. Our hind leg, you consider is another kind of like second palm of the heart. So we need to draw the blood up, the energy up from the yin muscle up by drawing. So when we raise, we draw up first. When you go down, we expand the yang muscles. So when you expand the yang muscles, then you can feel it, you see. When you expand the yang muscle down, and draw up from the yin muscle up, so your sole of the feet touching the floor will maintain neutral. So that in martial art, we call that the light feet.
Light feet.
Mm. So the light feet, that means that in order to be rooted, it's not about how how well can you grab the floor? It's about how well can you balance with the floor.
Yes. Between yin and yang pumps.
Yeah, balance with the floor, see?
Yeah.
When the balance with the floor, when you want to use the energy, the fudging with the yang, you boom, you go down. Right? Yes. You go down. Yes. Right? So you want to draw up, you draw up. You can draw to fudging, you draw up to boom. Say fudging, you see?
Mm. And that pumping down is the front and the outside of the leg and foot.
Yes.
And up the inside and back.
Yeah, it's popping up is from the yin muscle up, you see, to the dantian.
Yes.
You pump up, you see.
So the feet grab the floor, the arch pumps up and pop.
Yeah, yes. So but you must be ready in order to change. That means you must be able to maintain the balance point.
Well, yes, otherwise you become uprooted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Of course, like I said, that all movement, we do talk about inner organs, right? With the breathing, like how to breathe through the diaphragm. That means a lower breathing to dantian, to pulling. All right, because that if you don't have that breathing exercise like qigong and neigong, they work together.
Sure.
All right, it cannot be one without the other.
Yeah.
Of course, you can be only qigong without neigong, all right? Only breathing, but your reference you will miss some reference.
Yeah.
If you have neigong reference and qigong reference, then you're breathing, then you know where the reference that you need to hold on as a center reference. That I mean, you mean as a center reference, that means it's the neutral reference. Right? It's not only just what center must be a neutral. Right? And also where must be a balancing point. And my teaching is that skeleton is one thing. It's one thing, right? That you need the skeleton to do the movement, to do the holding up the skeleton structures. But the center alignment is a different line. My center alignment is not on the bone. It's on the skeleton. It's on in front of the spine that drop down to the perineum.
The central channel.
Yeah, the center channel down to the shin, in front of the shin, where the center of mass is.
In front of the shins.
In front of the shin.
So the tailbone slightly tucked.
Yes, slightly tucked. I wouldn't call it tucked. You see?
Yeah, not tucked.
It just release it and point more down. You see?
Down towards between the feet. I understand.
Yeah, that means like our hip on the hip, we call it in Chinese, like, or maybe in some massage therapy they call it the pivot 5. On the what they call it on the hip, on top of the hip bone.
Iliac crest.
Iliac crest.
Oh yes.
Iliac crest must be pointing down. It might be on top. It must be highest point that.
Yeah.
So that means then you can have your what they call
the sacrum.
Not sacrum. The what do you call that? The perineum pointing down.
Oh, perineum. Yes.
Yeah, the perineum. Then you have the perineum pointing down on the balance beam line. I call the balance beam line is. We call the balance beam line is from the center of gravity to one leg, one center of gravity, another leg center of gravity. They form a line.
Yeah.
So your perineum move along this line.
Yes. Yeah. And sometimes we'll say this to tuck only because a lot of people's tight in their hips. You're just saying the neutral position of the pelvis. Yes.
Yeah. So we concern a lot about the yin. The yin, they go to the yang. The yin, they draw, like you see, our shoulder here, the line, the front here, line here, right? You see. Now, if I draw the yin here, it doesn't go to the back.
Goes to the pecs.
It goes to the front.
Yeah.
Then from the front, I need to make, like I said, make a loop here. Then it from here, it loop over, From here, it look back. From here to here. From here, it look to the back. Then you stretch. There's a loop. A loop is more like sometimes we use it from opening and closing. From change. From one polarity to another polarity, there's a change. Right? It's like cycle. From this concave, there's a loop. From yin to yang. From yin here, you see from here, you make a loop, you make a cycle to the back. Then to the back. But that loop, we are very, what they call concerned. Not we are very particular that where you make the loop.
Okay.
It's where the open and close that you see. I'm from here, the neutral line, you see 90 degrees here. When I come to here, is my limit. I cannot just go like this over. I cannot just open this way. I open to here, there's a cycle, then it's to the yang. Then to here, there's a loop, there's the yin. The change from one side to another side, they must have a redirect kind of thing, you see.
Okay.
Like a circumference, like a circle with a circumference. Yes?
Yes.
With a cross. With a cross. Center.
Yes, center point.
Within the horizontal, there's vertical line. There has what? Inside, outside, above, below. All right? When we say outside, inside, above, below, is because the reference to the center. All right? So I'm opening, open. I'm opening, I'm still inside because the center is here. Yes, because the center is here. So when come to here, now I'm open now because I'm outside of the center. Right? So this is opening energy, and I'm absorbing and expanding to the point. Yes?
Yeah.
When I cross this line, right, I'm projecting and closing to the point. When I go above horizontal, I'm closing, but I'm closing and condensing to the point. I cannot project. If project, you are not holding the set point anymore. So when you cross this vertical line, you are absorbing and condensing down to the point. So every time, like you say, like a stick, you say now, for instance, when you play with the stick, there's a rotation that you need to hold the point, yes? When you do the spinning, you need to hold the point. You know the point, the energy change.
Yeah.
Inside, outside, condensing and expanding energy change.
Okay.
All right, there's a reference of the center.
But so so when we're talking arm like this, is the center of the shoulder joint? Like does the center, like are there centers all over the body? Like how do we determine?
I know, my teaching is about the two things. One is the hardware, one is the software. The hardware don't change. Hardware is the bone, ligament, tendons. Is you are born as such. This is the nature of the body human being. No matter what, you need to follow the rules that you're absorbing, you're condensing. Right? This muscle is always drawing, this muscle is also expanding. Of course, you can stretch the yin. Yes? Like I said, I'm opening up, I'm stretching the yin. But I'm still condensing to stretch. Practically, I still have the drawing energy. Right? If I lose the drawing energy, that means I overstretch. That means you violate it. You violate the hardware. Yes? That don't change.
Okay.
But the movement is about point of contact. The point of contact change.
Oh, with the other person.
Yes.
Oh,
Outside
okay.
you contact, everything change, right?
Yes, yes.
But the point of contact change is because that you must have the right engagement to get the point. Yes, right. So with the right engagement, you will get a point. We talk about, like I said, we talk about three unification: unified self, unified movement, unified on point of contact. When unify the point of contact, we talk about the cross, the half line. Yes.
Yes.
In martial art, we talk about, because the half line is about offense and defense line, right? And also in action.
Mm-hmm.
In action, you see, from there, here's a line here, right? I need to push this from this side, yes? I can't push, I push from this side, yes?
Mm-hmm.
I can't pull from this side.
No.
I need to cross this line to pull. I need to cross back here to push. But here have a reference. Which line do you know? Are you clear enough that you cross? Right? If you have, because that retraining, about offense and defense, we look into the line of difference to see, are you inside, are you outside?
Yeah.
All right. So in order to do the movement correctly, to get the right engagement, which quarter, which quarter are you in? Which line are you in? Have you crossed to do the movement or not? Movement right. Is either or consider is pulling or pushing, you can say. In what I call in the beginning, you can say the action is a two energy, pull, push energy first. Then it evolves into punching, throwing. Right? You're drawing energy and you're pushing, recycle energy first. But very basic, these two energy first before it evolve into, right, grab, stretch, pull, and anything kind of thing, you see. But that energy start with the point of contact, the reference, where are you contact?
Right.
All right. So from instance here, now you see from here, I can pull from here. I can't pull from here. I can pull from here is only when I hook you to pull. Yeah. Yes? Yes. When I hook you to pull, you must have nowhere to place. In which side can you catch to get the area to pull? So that means we see all this line that where you put your placement, the point of contact to do the movement. Right. That's where we talk about unifying and point of contact. Okay. Because everything like things come down to point of contact. Right.
And the point of contact in the body is the joints.
No.
No.
Point of contact we talk about because that you see, when we talk about point of contact, what consider point of contact? Consider point of contact is because there's object, subject, and conscious. You must have three things in order the point of contact is established. Right. Object, subject. Yep. Then object is outside. Subject is what? Either my eyes, hearing, smelling, taste, or touch of the body. Yes?
Okay. Yes, yes.
And must have conscious. Conscious, that means attention must be there, or else how can you know? That means you must be able to meet first. Attention must be there first to meet. That means that's why we talk about Yi Dao, Qi Dao, Li Dao. Attention must be there, energy, then the movement. Yes? But then the point of contact is only established. All right? When the point of contact is established, in order to get the right information, you must meet directly first. If you don't meet directly, how can you know? Right. Right. I can't say I must yield first, I must avoid first. No, you must say you must first meet to get to yield. You must meet to avoid it. You don't meet, you cannot avoid it. Yeah. All right. People was a lot of things trained. I must get away there first. No. Meet first.
Well, that's working from that center point. Otherwise, you're bringing a idea. Then
if you don't meet first on the center, you don't have reference.
No.
So you don't have reference to, should I go left or go right? I go up or go down? You don't know. So you meet first, then you only know what is happening in that moment. Then you only can do the second step, you see?
Right. So for somebody that wanted to started studying this and they're by themselves, what can they do on their own to start to understand these principles? Like standing meditation, well, what do you recommend to start to learn this?
Of course, I mean, the thing is that there are so many things out there. So it's tough to get the right source.
Yeah.
So you can, what can I say? You can do shop a little bit. Look at the teacher, look at the students. Normally we look at the students, how students have been learning in order to evaluate the teacher, is it?
Yes.
Right? Or else you don't know. It's about the products, you see? Right? Yeah, if your teacher is good, then your student must have learned something. All right. So so like I said, that there's so many things, so many reference. Even me myself, in 10 years back, when I go to the Kung Fu shop to look at the DVDs, you don't know what to buy, practically speaking. Everyone write very good description.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The description is so good, but when you brought it back and listen to it, what the heck is that he's talking about? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, everyone has his own conditions, you see.
Yes, but I mean, like if somebody came to you, they wanted to study with you, what was the first thing you tell them to do? How would you start this practice? Like with another person or by themselves? Like what practice?
It depends. You see, some come to me because I have school around the world. Practically, I have more than 20 over countries. I travel around the world.
Okay.
Yeah, close to around maybe 30 countries.
Wow.
So a lot of distance students.
Right.
A lot of distance students. First of all, I will advise them to listen to the lecture first. All right, it's more about the importance of the right viewpoint.
Yes.
Right, with the right view, then you only have a right understanding. Okay, say right understanding. You see, then only have the right action under the
right view.
The Buddhist kind of teaching. You see, without the right view, right understanding is very hard. Okay, the first is not about teaching the body first. It's more about giving the right information to your mind first.
Wonderful. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, like I said, that when you train with the body, you need more time because the training for body you can't see. It's only training with your experience to have a very short distance that you train up to here, then you only know. Train up to here, you only know. It's by section, right?
Right.
But from the mining, from your mind to understand, you can look further out, right? To where you should go. Like I said, it's the road map. It's the road map, the path.
The road map, the path, yes.
Yeah, you understand the road map at the path first. Does it make sense or not? That it fall in the logic or not, right? But make sure that it makes sense, not based on what you make sense to you see. Then you will based on your experience, you see. But you must also research about that. Does it fall into scientific research or not?
Yeah, you have to really look into it to make sure it's a sound method.
Yes, you see, and the training method.
Yes.
Right? Is it, like I said, that no doubt how well you can teach. We talk about, but we still have a portion that you cannot have it without the direct experience.
Yeah, they have to practice.
Yes, they have to practice and must have a direct experience. That means it's the like a direct transmissions.
Yeah.
you still need to have a direct transmission from the higher student or a higher teacher, right? Because that is beyond words.
Yes.
I can't tell you how sweet it is, right? Or how sour, how things, I cannot. I only can touch you and tell you this is the taste that you need. That is direct transmissions.
So the right feeling and sensation has to be transmitted to the student.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can say about center, I can talk about this or talk about that. You still won't able to know that much.
It's just intellectual. It's not actually experience.
But of course, there's some training. All right. Okay. How to get the center? Okay. Just go forward, backward, up, down, left, right. Rock. Keep on rocking or keep on bobbing, keep on stacking, that kind of thing to get the direct energy, the direct reflection. Like we said, when we have connected, when things connected they will have a direct reflection energy.
Right.
Right. So all movement, we talk about reverse energy and return energy. Now, first of all, when I teach students get it, is to get the reverse energy first. Like bouncing the ball. Yes?
Yes. The rebound.
And the bouncing the ball means I have the reverse energy. That means I touch the center.
Yeah.
That's the reverse. Boom, 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 boom. Yes? And knock. But after knocking, you know the center line is, but movement got to go to yin line or yang line. That means you need to hold on the center to go to the yang line and come back with the yin line. That means it's a cycle of return.
Okay.
In order to stretch to hold the 2 point. All movement minimum must have 2 point. Right? Center with circumference is 2 point. One center to center is 2 point. Right? How far can you connect? If you can maintain that, how far you can connect, that means what?
You expand.
Your knowing will be getting wider and wider. So you are holding your head, you are sitting on like a spider, sitting on the neutral center, you feel all the surrounding.
Okay.
All right? There's a connection there. So it still comes down to, are you able to connect? So to connect, talk about the balance point. Connecting, take a balance point, you see? Right? When Tai Chi talk about put tiêu bất định. Put tiêu bất định, that means is no resistance, no backing off. That means you must be one. You see this? This is a balance. This is a balance point. Right? The balance point that you maintain, what? To maintain the same pressure as you go. Right? That's why we say this is where then you can talk about my 4 ounce versus how many 1,000 pounds. Because on the balance point, I only take your 4 ounce. More than that, I don't want. You see?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't care how strong you are. Because I flow with the point. So flowing with the point, of course, there is other characteristic that you must have 90 degrees to meet. So in order to get the direct energy. All right. So this is where you call the stickiness. So because we do a lot of spinning hand and sticky hand. I believe that you watch some of our video.
Yes, many. And I read your book. But I haven't practiced with anybody who's done it, so I didn't get the transmission. So I'm trying to understand it intellectually.
Yeah, basically, I could say that all martial arts are looking for quite the same thing if they have the right philosophy, right concepts. You say, I mean, you could say that it's all quite the same. You could say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked how you said it's not about fighting, it's about movement.
Yeah.
Then I have one final question for you. So in your book, you said when you press on the wall, the wall's not resisting, you're resisting.
Mm.
Can you explain that?
I was trying to say that a lot of time, because I get a lot of people saying that when you start to play with some group of people, they said you are resisting, you're a lot of force. Right? Because they can't yield you, they can't neutralize you, say, oh, you use a lot of force.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yes.
Right? But practically speaking, if you can't neutralize me, that means it's not that I'm using force. Like I was trying to say that if you try to push the wall, the wall resists you or you resist the wall?
You resist the wall.
You resist the wall.
Mm-hmm.
The wall is just having a right structure.
Yeah.
A right structure, and the wall is grounding. Right? You push him, actually he's grounding there. So he doesn't resist you. It's a matter of using the right energy. When you talk about using the right energy, power is there. Right? When we talk about martial arts, it's all about power. Yes? Able to change and have if you have the right angle, right timing, the power is being manifest. Actually, I won't say power is manifest in that way, but your opponent will feel that you are very, very strong.
Okay.
Right? Because when you are on the right point, they're holding on the point, right? For instance, if I hold neutral on you, you won't able to move out. You won't able to generate power. Because neutral cannot generate power. Because as if that you try to use a lot of force, but the force is not being manifest. Then you feel that opponent is very strong. Right? Movement under the Tai Chi movement, you need to go to yin or yang. You either go to yin or yang. That's why you said Wu Chi to Tai Chi. Tai Chi, once in action, it fall into yin or yang. So if people can hold you on neutral, you are freeze. You say, then you cannot use the power anymore. You cannot, if they don't allow you to move out from the yin to yin or yang, you are done. See, that's how you freeze people too. You see, how do you stop people from moving?
Keep them at neutral.
Keep them in neutral. Keep on neutral and keep on neutral, and then jam it up.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. This has been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to, I'm honored to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Right.
It was an honor. I really enjoyed meeting you. What a great conversation. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.